Isaiah 12:1 And in that day thou shalt say, I will give thanks unto thee, O Jehovah, for though thou wast angry with me, thine anger is turned away and thou comfortest me too. Behold, God is my salvation, I will trust, and will not be afraid, for Jehovah, even Jehovah, is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. 3 Therefore with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation. 4 And in that day shall ye say, Give thanks unto Jehovah, call upon his name, declare his doings among the peoples, make mention that his name is exalted. 5 Sing unto Jehovah, for he hath done excellent things, let this be known in all the earth. 6 Cry aloud and shout, thou inhabitant of Zion, for great in the midst of thee is the Holy One of Israel. Isaiah 13:1 The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amoz did see. 2 Set ye up an ensign upon the bare mountain, lift up the voice unto them, wave the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. 3 I have commanded my consecrated ones, I have called my mighty men from mine anger, even my proudly exulting ones for the noise of a multitude in the mountains, as of a great people, the noise of a tumult of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Jehovah of hosts is mustering the host for the battle. 5 They come from a far country, from the uttermost part of heaven, even Jehovah, and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. 6 Wail ye, for the day of Jehovah is at hand, as destruction from the Almighty shall it come. 7 Therefore shall all hands be feeble, and every heart of man shall melt. 8 And they shall be dismayed, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them, they shall be in pain as a woman in travail, they shall look in amazement one at another, their faces shall be faces of flame. 9 Behold, the day of Jehovah cometh, cruel, with wrath and fierce anger, to make the land a desolation, and to destroy the sinners thereof. Out of it 10 For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light, the sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause its light to shine. 11 And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. 12 I will make a man more rare than fine gold, even a man than the pure gold of Ophir. 13 Therefore I will make the heavens to tremble, and the earth shall be shaken out of its place, in the wrath of Jehovah of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. 14 And it shall come to pass, that as the chaste roe, and as sheep that no man gathereth, they shall turn every man to his own people, and shall flee every man to his own land. 15 Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is taken shall fall by the sword. 16 Their infants also shall be dashed in pieces before their eyes, their houses shall be rifled, and their wives ravished. 17 Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, who shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. 18 And their bows shall dash the young men in pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, their eyes shall not spare children. 19 And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' pride, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. 20 It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall shepherds make their flocks to lie down there. 21 But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and ostriches shall dwell there, and wild goats shall dance there. 22 And wolves shall cry in their castles, and jackals in the pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Isaiah 14:1 For Jehovah will have compassion on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the sojourner shall join himself with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob too. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Jehovah for servants and for handmaids, and they shall take them captive whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. 3 And it shall come to pass in the day that Jehovah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy trouble, and from the hard service wherein thou wast made to serve, for that thou shalt take up this parable against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. 5 Jehovah hath broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers. 6 That smote the peoples in wrath with a continual stroke, that ruled the nations in anger, with a persecution that none restrained. 7 The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet, they break forth into singing. 8 The fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid low, no hewer is come up against us. 9 Sheol from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. 10 All they shall answer and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? 11 Thy pomp is brought down to Sheol, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and worms cover thee. 12 How art thou fallen from heaven, O day star, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, that didst lay low the nations. 13 And thou saidst in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit upon the mount of congregation, in the uttermost parts of the north. 14 I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will make myself like the Most High. 15 Yet thou shalt be brought down to Sheol, to the uttermost parts of the pit. 16 They that see thee shall gaze at thee, they shall consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? 17 That made the world as a wilderness, and overthrew the cities thereof, that let not loose his prisoners to their home. 18 All the kings of the nations, all of them, sleep in glory, every one in his own house. 19 But thou art cast forth away from thy sepulchre like an abominable branch, clothed with the slain, that are thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a dead body trodden under foot. 20 Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, thou hast slain thy people, the seed of evil. Doers shall not be named forever. 21 Prepare ye slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they rise not up, and possess the earth, and fill the face of the world with cities. 22 And I will rise up against them, saith Jehovah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon name and remnant, and son's son, saith Jehovah. 23 I will also make it a possession for the porcupine, and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Jehovah of hosts. 24 Jehovah of hosts hath sworn, saying, Surely, as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. 25 That I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him under foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulder. 26 This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. 27 For Jehovah of hosts hath purposed, and who shall annul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? 28 In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. 29 Rejoice not, O Philistia, all of thee, because the rod that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth an adder, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. 30 And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety, and I will kill thy root with famine, and thy remnant shall be slain. 31 Howl, O gate, cry, O city, thou art melted away, O Philistia, all of thee, for there cometh a smoke out of the north, and there is no straggler in his ranks. 32 What then shall one answer the messengers of the nation? That Jehovah hath founded Zion, and in her shall the afflicted of his people take refuge. Isaiah 15, 1 The burden of Moab. For in a night Ar of Moab is laid waste, and brought to naught. For in a night Kir of Moab is laid waste, and brought to naught. 2 They are gone up to Baal, and to Dibon, to the high places, to we. Moab waileth over Nebo, and over Medeba. On all their heads is baldness, every beard is cut off. 3 In their streets they gird themselves with sackcloth, on their housetops, and in their broad places, every one waileth, weeping abundantly. 4 And Heshbon crieth out, and Delilah, their voice is heard even unto Jahaz. Therefore the armed men of Moab cry aloud, his soul trembleth within him. 5 My heart crieth out for Moab, her nobles flee unto sword, to Eglath-Shelishiah. For by the ascent of Luhith with weeping they go up. For in the way of Horonaim they raise up a cry of destruction. 6 For the waters of Nimrim shall be desolate, for the grass is withered away, the tender grass faileth, there is no green thing. 7 Therefore the abundance they have gotten, and that which they have laid up, shall they carry away over the brook of the willows. 8 For the cry is gone round about the borders of Moab, the wailing thereof unto Eglaim, and the wailing thereof unto Beer Elim. 9 For the waters of Dimon are full of blood, for I will bring yet more upon Dimon, a lion upon them of Moab that escape, and upon the remnant of the land. Isaiah 16, 1 Send ye the lambs for the ruler of the land from Selah to the wilderness, unto the mount of the daughter of Zion. 2 For it shall be that, as wandering birds, as a scattered nest, so shall the daughters of Moab be at the fords of the Arnon. 3 Give counsel, execute justice, make thy shade as the night in the midst of the noonday, hide the outcasts, betray not the fugitive. 4 Let mine outcasts dwell with thee, as for Moab, be thou a covert to him from the face of the destroyer, for the extortioner is brought to naught, destruction ceaseth, the oppressors are consumed out of the land. 5 And a throne shall be established in loving kindness, and one shall sit thereon in truth, in the tent of David, judging, and seeking justice, and swift to do righteousness. 6 We have heard of the pride of Moab, that he is very proud, even of his arrogancy, and his pride, and his wrath. His boastings are not 7, therefore shall Moab wail for Moab. Every one shall wail. For the raisin cakes of Kir-Hareseth shall ye mourn. Utterly stricken 8, for the fields of Heshbon languish, and the vine of Sigma. The lords of the nations have broken down the choice branches thereof, which reached even unto Jazer, which wandered into the wilderness. Its shoots were spread abroad. They passed over the sea. 9, therefore I will weep with the weeping of Jazer for the vine of Sigma. I will water thee with my tears, O Heshbon, and Delilah. For upon thy summer fruits and upon thy harvest the battle shout is fallen. 10, and gladness is taken away, and joy out of the fruitful field. And in the vineyards there shall be no singing, neither joyful noise. No treader shall tread out wine in the presses. I have made the vintage shout to cease. 11, wherefore my heart soundeth like a harp for Moab, and mine inward parts for Kir-Hares. 12, and it shall come to pass, when Moab presenteth himself, when he wearieth himself upon the high place, and shall come to his sanctuary to pray, that he shall not prevail. 13, this is the word that Jehovah spake concerning Moab in time past. 14, but now Jehovah hath spoken, saying, within 3 years, as the years of a hireling, the glory of Moab shall be brought into contempt, with all his great multitude, and the remnant shall be very small and of no account. Isaiah 17:1. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. 2, the cities of Aroer are forsaken, they shall be for flocks, which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. 3, and the fortress shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith Jehovah of hosts. 4, and it shall come to pass in that day, that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. 5, and it shall be as when the harvestman gathereth the standing grain, and his arm reapeth the ears. Yeah, it shall be as when one gleaneth ears in the valley of Rephaim. 6, yet there shall be left therein gleanings, as the shaking of an olive tree. 2 or 3 berries in the top of the uppermost bough, 4 or 5 in the outmost branches of a fruitful tree, saith Jehovah, the God of Israel. 7, in that day shall men look unto their Maker, and their eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. 8, and they shall not look to the altars, the work of their hands, neither shall they have respect to that which their fingers have made, either the Asherim, or the sun images. 9, in that day shall their strong cities be as the forsaken places in the wood and on the mountain top, which were forsaken from before the children of Israel, and it shall be a desolation. 10, for thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation, and hast not been mindful of the rock of thy strength. Therefore thou plantest pleasant plants, and settest it with strange slips. 11, in the day of thy planting thou hedgest it in, and in the morning thou makest thy seed to blossom. But the harvest fleeth away in the day of grief and of desperate sorrow. 12, the uproar of many peoples, that roar like the roaring of the seas, and the rushing of nations, that rush like the rushing of mighty waters. 13, the nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but he shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like the whirling dust before the storm. 14, at eventide, behold, terror, and before the morning they are not. This is the portion of them that despoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. Isaiah